The roots below the earth claim no rewards for making the branches fruitful. Well, these are the words by the famous Rabindranath Tagore. This means that Mother Nature doesn't ask for any major effort to make fruitful branches. Love, care, and affection are enough to live in this beautiful world, and one must be patient and kind. Lord Buddha said, in the end, only three things matter: how much you loved, how gently you lived, and how gracefully you let go of things not meant for you. Well, man these days is running behind the materialistic and the worldly things like money, power, and beauty, without knowing the fact that these will once fade away. All what will remain with us will be our simplicity, our innocence, and our good deeds. Well, let me tell you something interesting. It so happened that last Sunday someone approached me and offered me a task in exchange of a fat sum of money. Well, lucrative as the offer was, I was about to take it. And suddenly I remembered that I had promised to take my parents for a dinner as it was a Sunday. Well, now I can't be saying no to my parents as Sundays are always meant to be with them. So I decided to take my parents out instead of the job, and believe me, they were really happy about it. The twinkle in their eyes that followed was something which no amount of money could have measured. So I feel I struck the right bargain. Well, so it's not always about the money. Sometimes it's just about doing something that'll make the other person happy. That's what it means to find happiness in the immaterial things. That is exactly what today's lesson is all about. We are about to read Rabindranath Tagore's beautiful poem, The Last Bargain. And before I go on, let me tell you something about this immortal poet. Born on 7th May 1861, Rabindranath Tagore was a Bengali poet, a short story writer, a song composer, a playwright, an essayist, and a painter. Well, that's quite an extraordinary list, don't you think so? Well, he was a highly influential figure who had managed to introduce the Indian culture to the West and vice versa. That's the reason why he is regarded as an outstanding creative artist of the early 20th century India. In 1913, he became the first non-European to receive the Nobel Prize for Literature. Apart from that, he had published several books on poetry in 1880s. One of them is Manasi. His other notable collections include the poetic collection by the name of Sonar Tari and plays like Chitrangada. Tagore's poems are virtually untranslatable, and so are his songs. So let's begin with the poem The Last Bargain by Rabindranath Tagore. Well, this is a 16-line soulful poem conveying a strong message well needed for the materialistic world to know that power, money, or lust can't make us happy. The poem The Last Bargain is about someone looking for a job. Well, he's a daily wage earner and wants to be hired. But there's a glitch, there's a problem. He wants to be hired without losing his freedom. Well, in the poem, the poet tells us how he will receive offers from the rich, the powerful, and the beautiful. However, he turned down all of them. He did not take their offers. Then whose offer did he accept? Let's find out. Come and hire me, I cried, while in the morning I was walking on the stone-paved road. The poem opens with the speaker walking on the stone-paved road in the morning and asking out to hire him. Well, the speaker is a daily wage earner who wants to be hired. Well, morning time here symbolizes hope and courage. Hence, the poet seems to be hopeful of someone hiring him. And the stone-paved road symbolizes a difficult path. Sword in hand, the king came in his chariot. He held my hand and said, I will hire you with my power. Well, a king came in his chariot with a sword in his hand. Well, the king coming in his chariot with a sword symbolizes a person with power. The king holds the hand of the speaker and says that he will hire him with his power. But his power counted for naught, and he went away in his chariot. Now, since the king wanted to hire the speaker with the power, however, the power seems to be a naught, that means nothing. It seemed worthless to the speaker because it is not everlasting. Power will once fade away. The speaker is thus not satisfied with what the king offered him. And the king goes away in his chariot. So in this stanza, the speaker describes his first struggle to get something that fails. Stanza 2. In the heat of the midday, the houses stood with shut doors. I wandered along the crooked lane. Well, now it's the daytime and it's very hot outside. The doors of the houses are closed. The speaker is wandering along a crooked lane, and the crooked lane refers to the bent or an uneven road. An old man came out with his bag of gold. He pondered and said, I will hire you with my money. He weighted his coins one by one, but I turned away. Soon an old man comes out of his house along with a bag of gold, that is huge wealth. He pondered, which means he thought carefully, and on finding that the speaker is in need of something, offers him money and says that he will hire the speaker with his money. So he says, I will hire you with my money. The old man, in order to show how wealthy he is, starts counting his gold coins one by one. However, like the power of the king, the wealth also seemed worthless because it could not make the old man young again, nor it could make the climate cool. The speaker understands that the wealth is not something which he needs because, like the power, it doesn't remain in one's hand forever. He wants something else and thus goes away. Stanza 3. It was evening. The garden hedge was all aflower. The fair maid came out and said, I will hire you with a smile. Her smile paled and melted into tears, and she went back alone in the dark. Well, now it is evening time, and the garden hedge, that is the boundary or the fence, is aflower. Well, a flower means blooming with flowers. So the garden hedge was blooming with flowers. Well, a fair maid, which refers to a beautiful lady, comes out and says that she wants to hire the speaker with her beauty, that is, with her smile. So she says, I'll hire you with my smile. However, the speaker finds that, like the king's power and the old man's wealth, her beauty is also not everlasting. Soon the smile of that beautiful lady is paled and melted with tears, which means that the smile went away and she goes back along into the dark. He understood that it was just the outer smile which made the lady look beautiful and attractive. But the lady has hidden sorrows too. Stanza 4. The sun glistened on the sand and the sea. Waves broke waywardly. A child sat playing with shells. He raised his head and seemed to know me and said, I'll hire you with nothing. From henceforward, the bargain struck in the child's play made me a free man. Well, that's a very important paragraph. Well, the day wasn't over yet. Now, after the day was over, the speaker fails to make a bargain. Well, however, he has patience and persistence, so he doesn't give up. And the new day comes up with a new hope and courage. He is at the seashore and he sees the sun shining on the sand and the sea waves striking waywardly, which means in an unpredictable way. Well, this vista presented by the speaker symbolizes his love and appreciation for nature. Soon he finds a child sitting on the seashore and playing with his shells. Now, this is a symbolic image as the child has no desire for the power or wealth or beauty. The child is free from all these things which makes the man a servant. Now the child raises his head and sees the speaker. It looks to the speaker that the child knows him. Now seeing the speaker in a quest for something, the child offers. The child offers that I will hire you with nothing. So the child wanted to hire the speaker with nothing, absolutely nothing. No power, no wealth, no beauty, absolute nothing. Well, nothing is a profound symbol. It means freedom, liberty, independence, and free from the worldly desire. The child is innocent. He has nothing to give. He doesn't have power. He doesn't have any wealth. He doesn't have beauty. Well, that's how the speaker gets interested. The speaker understands that this is what he was longing for since long. He readily accepts the child offer, and from henceforward, which means that from that day, the speaker finds his freedom in the child's play and thus becomes a free man. The last two lines, from henceforward that bargain struck in the child's play made me a free man. Well, this was the ultimate destination of the speaker. And here the poem ends. Well, the message of the poem is that we should never desire worldly things like power, money, and beauty. They are short-living and worthless. They don't give peace and joy to the soul. They always create a fear of losing them in the minds of those who own them. A person should be like that innocent child who plays with the shells at the seashore. The speaker finds liberty and peace in becoming a free man, like the child, and wants the readers to be like him in order to attain peace. At the last, I would like to say that the less you own, the less that owns you. Thank you and have a wonderful day.